Many Nigerians who claim to be investing in real estate are actually just tying up their money because they all believe in that slogan that says real estate is the key to financial freedom. And they fail to ask those people who are telling them that location and real estate is key to financial freedom. Why are they not buying land in their villages, right? So most times it's not just that you're buying properties. That's when you're making investment, because a lot of persons just buy properties and then they end up tying their money. Now, for you to make money in real estate, there are certain factors you need to understand. You need to understand the market cycle. You need to understand a whole lot of things, including the various factors that could necessitate and then help to make a property gain value. Now, that's to say that real estate investment is more about people than the property itself. So you should know if the place you're buying a property is where would attract more persons, because it's when more persons come in, the demand for land increases and then the value of the property appreciates. So today we are going to relate our story, what we did with Himalayas Estate, why did we actually choose Himalayas Estate, and then maybe from our own story you will understand why we were able to sell out all the properties we mapped out for our promo sales, and then also had to sell extra 14 plus on that same promo sales because a lot of investors were coming in. So just stay tuned with us, and then by the end of this video you will have enough reasons either to buy Himalayas, and then most often whenever you want to do your next real estate investment, you will know what to look out for. So if you're just coming to, like, you're meeting my video, you're seeing my video for the first time, I am Valentine Chinedu Okoye, your real estate investment doctor and managing partner Jeffrey and Trade Solutions Limited. So please, you could click on the like button if you like what you're hearing, and then also share to your friends and leave your thoughts on the comment section as we go on. So what are those factors that we consider when you want to buy a real estate investment, or what did we actually see that made us buy out Himalayas? For the records, right, real estate investment is different from doing real estate as a business, right? So we're going to check this on two sides: how real estate has benefited us, how we had benefited from our investment in Himalayas Estate, and then how our investors have also benefited in it. So what basically happened is this: Enugu as a city has always been in one particular location. Enugu has always been Independence Layout, GRA. Then recently we started having, I think, Corner and Ogwaje. So one thing with cities is that cities expand, right? Because population keep increasing, and then the resources factor of production, which is land, is always fixed. So as the increase in population, as the population increases, we will now have need for more land, and then the city will have to expand. Now cities expand in two ways, right? It could either be vertical or horizontal, right? Vertical is when we start having high rises, then horizontal is when we start moving to the suburban areas. Now we watched Enugu as a city and we saw the high increase in population. Then we also saw the expansion towards the Ogwaje area, the Port Harcourt Express Road. And then at a point, we already having discussions. Why are people not coming to us? Why are people not going to Nike, right? Now, there was a particular challenge, which was obvious to everybody. The problem of double sell, right? So, Nike people have an infamous history of when you buy land from them, they resell. So, to an extent, it contributed to making people run away from buying properties from there, because nobody wants to tie down his money where he's going to have issues, right? Then also the second challenge that people had from that area was movement, traffic, right? T-junction, cornerstone junctions, Abakba, Isef, Liberty, these are places that they have history of high traffic, right? People spend hours when they are making movement. Even those who are traveling to Nsukka, you have to spend a lot of time. In fact, it used to give me personal heart attack if I want to travel home, right? Because most times you end up spending 2 hours on that particular road. Now, these are factors that held people from moving to this particular location. So what now changed our narration? What led to the obsession in Himalayas Estate? So for some persons, they might think it's just luck, but there were factors we checked. For instance, when the former governor of the state decided to build the T-junction, we saw to a very large extent that the problem of traffic would be solved, right? So we now had to move in. That was actually when we made our first acquisition in Himalayas Estate. We bought it way back, right? And then we started selling, right? But luckily for us, the new administration, when they came in, they made it obvious they were in a hurry. That was the statement the governor used to dualize the Enugu Express Road. Movement and accessibility is a very big plus in real estate. We had to go back and acquire more, right? Now, these things were not just what we checked. But why didn't we buy from any other place along that road? Why did we now choose Himalayas, for instance? Now, one other thing that happened within that time was that demolition of buildings became very popular. A lot of people in Lagos, a lot of places in Abuja, in Enugu, buildings were being demolished, right? So we now had to find a way that we could secure our investment. Man, I say real estate as a business. So if I buy properties and people are not buying it, I won't be able to sell, right? So we had to find something that gives confidence to the investors. We have to find a product that gives confidence to the investors. What we're talking about, this confidence, we're talking about security of title, right? At a point where every man who seemed to have invested in land is panicking because he doesn't know when the government will come and acquire the property, or he doesn't know when he must have done something wrong, or he didn't build according to the plans and every other thing, and then the building gets demolished. We have to find something that gives you security of title. Now, Himalayas Estate has what I call a two-factor authentication. One, the people of Amampaka community already had certificate of occupancy on that land for an area of land covering about 1,100,000 and something square meters. They already had a seal of proof for it. And then another factor authentication, which we all know that certificate of occupancy is the highest document that shows someone has land in Nigeria. So when I say that is one factor authentication, genuine title, right? Then secondly, Enugu State Housing Development Corporation has a history when it comes to authenticity of land and buildings that they sell. So they actually now acquired from the community. That is two-factor authentication. Enugu State Housing Development Corporation is an agency of the government. So one, you are no longer dealing directly with the community. Even though the community has a strong title, you are no longer dealing directly with them. You're dealing with a government agency. We were dealing with a government agency that has track record when it comes to land administration. So these two factors gave us confidence to go in. And then this is also what most people who are coming in see, and then they decide to buy. What it now means is that whoever gets a property in Himalayas Estate has zero chances of losing that property, which became a big plus to us, because once we made this message known to the people were trooping in, and then in their numbers, and then demanding for plus, right? Now, another factor we considered is Himalayas had two ways of induced appreciation, right? When you're buying a property and you get a value, you have to now think about what is the projected value. Himalayas had that projection in value in terms of, one, the internal infrastructures that are being provided. So for those who know Housing Development Corporation very well, we talk about most of their beautiful projects. For instance, the Coastal Garden Estate that is at GRA, right behind the CBN. If you enter there, you will see a masterpiece of an estate, right? Then we talk about WTC Estate, right? These are beautiful estates done by the same people. And now you're buying Himalayas as it is, right? You're not buying the future value. You're paying just a little amount to buy this property now. And you are certain that in the nearest future, the roads will be tarred, the drainages will be provided, and we have electricity. These are factors that increase appreciation in land. So we saw these things and we moved in. And the people who are buying now are also seeing this internal induced appreciation, and they're coming in their numbers. So if you're watching this video and you have money, you could reach out to me also and want to like maybe discuss on how you can take advantage of this. Now there is also an external inducement of price appreciation, which currently we are all feeling the impact. One, the dualization of the Enugu-Nsukka Express Road, which the governor has started, right? In fact, the work is ongoing on that particular project 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, right? So a lot of work are already going on, and you know accessibility is a whole lot of plus. Now, what is the inducement of value coming in here? Remember I told you that real estate is more about the property, about the people than the properties, right? Now, when a place is accessible, a lot of persons could comfortably live there. Now, Himalayas solved the problem of double sale that Nikkei people has. You're not dealing with the community, you're not dealing with just an individual, you're dealing with a real estate company that is dealing with the government, right? So you are sure that this your land will never cannot be sold to any other person, that this is your property, what you buy is your own, and then government has already acquired before and they're not coming back to acquire again, right? Then we're also talking about the expansion of the city, right? Like I told you before, the city is currently in Enugu, we're expanding horizontally, we're moving to the suburban areas. Yesterday, coincidentally, I did a test. I'm still going to post that on another video, so please do subscribe to this YouTube video, this channel, so that subsequently when we drop a video, put on the notification bell also. You will be able to get the video when it drops. So yesterday we did a test, right? I did a drive-through video from Himalayas to ShopRite Enugu, and then I did the same drive-through video from ShopRite Enugu to Centenary City. Now, just you can take it from me today, but keep on watching this channel, you will see this video yourself. It was almost the same time, right? It took us about 32 minutes here because of the traffic to move from Himalayas to ShopRite, and it took us about 28 minutes to move from ShopRite to Centenary City. Currently, Centenary City is selling for way above 50 million naira, right? And Himalayas is still selling below 10 million. So you see, for someone who works in the city center and is looking for a place to buy his property, and he cannot afford 50 million naira in Centenary City or 80 million naira in the city center, what keeps him from staying just 30 minutes away from the town, and then he's just buying this property for less than 10 million naira? So you see, this is one other thing we checked when it comes to accessibility. Now, also one other factor that contributes to growth in real estate appreciation is presence of commerce, right? Now, these things also draw people. All these things we are mentioning are things that will make the place attractive for people to move in, right? Migration. Now, commerce. When you come to Himalayas, just beside it we have the Amangpaka Ultra Modern Market, which the government has already proposed as the new place for the new timber market in Enugu East, right? Now, this is also a commercial activity, and it means that more persons are going to come in, more persons will be using the place, and when more persons are using the market, people want to live close to where their source of living is. Old Ugogo market is also about 3 minutes away from this particular estate. So we saw everything. Like, there are 3 major factors: government presence, commerce, and then the infrastructure. And we saw all of them. The Himalayas ticked every boxes, and so far we are not regretting going into that particular project. Right now we have less than 20 plots to sell, and the plot is selling for 8.5 million naira, and we still have people who are coming in. And just to make sure that our estate has a facelift and is enhanced, and then the development we promise is what we're delivering. Currently we're running a promo, and then if you're buying a plot in Himalayas, we're giving you 1,000 blocks to start your fencing immediately. So Himalayas has been a very beautiful project for us. It's a good one for us, and we are obsessed with it because of the factors we saw, which I have related to you. So these factors, these 3 major factors, are things you should also consider whenever you want to buy a land, right? Until I see you next time, I remain your favorite real estate investment Dr. Valentine Chinedu Okoye. Thank you.